Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage with another success story. And today we're going to speak to Abdel, who is going to share his success with you guys so that you can learn from his process and the struggles that he had. And let's get going. Abdel, can you introduce yourself to everyone?
My name is Abdelrahman Gamal, Abdu for short. I am a physician. Actually, I am specialized in cardiology, so I am a cardiologist. I am from Egypt and I am 31 years old. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So let's start off by talking about your IELTS journey. So can you tell us a little bit about things like how many times did you do the test? What scores were you getting? What were you doing to improve? And then we'll talk about how you improved and how you got the scores that you needed.
Yeah, actually, I enrolled in the IELTS Academy course last October, and this is exactly 1 year since I started preparation on the 10th and October 20 and 18 and 18,
Hmm.
2018. Yeah. So it took me a year just to reach the point that I totally convinced that I have to seek an expert help.
Hmm.
So at that year, I started by taking the courses on the online mini courses I bought. They are not very expensive. Mini courses I downloaded were hacked. I actually read a book. It's around 400 pages about how to prepare for writing and speaking. I did many exercises, and all of that resulted in me taking the exam 3 times, and every time I was getting band 9 listening, band 9 reading, band 6.5 speaking, which improved to band 7.5 speaking. However, I was stuck at 6.5 in writing,
Hmm.
and this was really frustrating because I really believe in my ability in English language. I have spent many years improving it, and I deal with it almost daily in my research, in my reading, in even in leisure time watching movies and songs and so on. And actually, I got to know IELTS Advantage through your $1 challenge. If you remember, writing the dollar challenge, I at first I didn't listen to it right away. I just downloaded it, and one day, the fun fact is that I booked the fourth attempt on September. I thought that I booked it on September, but it was booked on December. I booked on December by mistake. So on September, I was sitting before the exam, and the first day of September, I was thinking that the exam would be on 14 September, and I was sitting there. I didn't know what. I don't have any idea what to do. I didn't have any idea what to do. I have tried everything the same 3 times ago. What can I do different? So I was going through my stuff on my computer and I found your course. I started it. The thing that surprised me was that you were talking about simplicity
Hmm.
and not too complex stuff,
Hmm.
and that you really give the student an opportunity to express himself differently. You
Hmm.
know, the formulas I was following at that time was a sentence by sentence formula, to the extent that you feel like it's some sort of a mechanical writing. It's
Hmm.
not it's not natural.
Hmm.
And as you said in the course, I was trying also to insert a cohesive device every sentence with with the very strict formula, which of course resulted in me not getting the score.
Yeah.
So I got convinced after the $1 challenge. I try. Of course, it's a large sum of money, as you said every time. So I thought a lot about it, and I said that I need to invest if I
Hmm.
want to succeed. Then I have to invest. So I started by taking the 350 courses. Then I increased step by step till I got the full VIP plus course. Uh, there are two things that I recommend IELTS Advantage course because first, the simplicity.
Hmm.
It is very easy, very simple, telling you exactly what you need to succeed in IELTS. And sorry for that, but I was a little skeptic till the moment of the exam. I
Hmm.
was
Even
following it.
even some of our successful students say that they said, because you made it so simple, even the day of my exam, I was like, I don't want to do it the simple way. I want to go back and do it
Uh,
the complicated way
yeah,
because
yeah. I was till the day I was thinking that I will do as Chris said because I want him to carry the responsibility. I want the responsibility to
yeah,
be on him, not to be on me when I didn't get the score again. But to my surprise, I didn't do well in the exams at all.
hmm,
I was really stressed. I had caught cold just 2 days before the exam. So I was exhausted, stressed, I'm not focused. Actually, I got my least overall score in the four attempts. I got 7.5 every time I was getting 8.
mm,
But this time, although I was exhausted and stressed and the cold, all this stuff, uh, I got in the exam, I only have had written just a, a very good letter, a very good task one. The advice you did, you said that you have to work on your task one to improve your score is 100% right.
yeah,
The letter was about a situation I have written about and corrected by your services. Uh, and by the way, I want to thank everyone in the correction services. They are great. They really know what they are doing. They are really helpful. Yeah, I can say enough about these guys. These guys just got me from 6.5 to 8 in 12 days. I got
hmm,
improved in just 12 days. It's mind blowing for me.
hmm,
So on the exam, as I said, I have solved this question of task one before. So I had written it the same way I had written my letter, which I sent to your correction sample. The funny thing is that there's a sentence that I had written in the exam. I written the same mistake, and in the exam I remember the correction and I corrected it. The
good,
same sentence with the same English. Then when I reached the I started writing the essay. I took about 7 to 10 minutes, freezed, paralyzed. I
right,
can't get any ideas to talk about the subject. It was very. This is why I'm telling you. I want to tell people to work on the stress, to
yeah.
fight the stress,
So
and
do
to
you
know
think
to
that
how
was
to manage
because
the
you
stress.
were sick
Actually,
and stressed, or do you think it was more stress than
stress. Yeah,
stress?
no, I'm mainly stress. When I
Well,
reflected back on this experience,
we'll definitely talk about stress in this video because it's very important, and it would be interesting to
yeah,
hear what a physician says about stress as well. But I talk a lot about stress on the
yeah,
in the
so,
course and how to deal with
yeah.
that. But it's always interesting to hear from a doctor who knows way more about stress than I do, of course.
What happened is, as I said, I wasted 10 minutes. I can't get any ideas. I can't write anything in the papers. Then I tried to get anything. So I
Mm,
get too vague, not specific ideas, just vague to the extent that I can't remember them right now. And then I took the next 20 minutes writing the introduction and the first paragraph. And I have only 6 minutes left to write the second paragraph and the conclusion. I
mhm,
really don't remember what I have written in the second paragraph and the conclusion. This is why when I came out of the exam, I told everyone that I won't succeed. I
mm,
wouldn't succeed at that time. I told my parents, my family, my
mm.
friends, me myself. I sent you an email after the exam right away, and I told you this experience. And I think your education manager, I can't remember his name, told me that let's wait till
Michael.
the results appear.
Michael, yeah,
Michael,
yeah.
till the results appear. I was really convinced I have two exams corrected after the exam in the 2 weeks. While I was waiting the results, I was waking every day at the morning and practicing my writing. That's what I was. The day the results came, it was a shock. It was a shock for me and for everybody around me. They think that I am some sort of an sinister guy who don't want to tell them that he is doing well. They know these people. I mean, I really believe it. But since then, I am trying to understand and manage my anxiety, and I'm telling every people around you how to uh, deal with their anxiety better
Okay. So
because it
let's
is
talk
as
about that then. Let's talk about that. So, if you were to give advice to another student who's finding it very stressful, both their preparation stressful and exam day is very, because I think they're related, but they're a little bit different. I think everybody
yeah,
feels
yeah.
stress. I think it's actually normal to feel stressed out on exam day, but you don't want stress to
To a certain level.
overcome you. Yeah, you don't want it to
Mm,
be overwhelming.
mm,
I think the
mm.
one the key is to manage stress during your preparation as well, because often people can
Yes,
allow it to overwhelm them during the preparation. Then they do nothing, and
yes,
then exam day is a complete nightmare because they're sitting there knowing that they're going to fail, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. So, what advice would you give
yes.
give to a student?
Uh, uh, from my experience and from my studies, I think there are three ways to combat stress.
Hmm.
The first one is prepare as hard as tense as possible because the more you practice, the higher level you get, the more you will be comfortable on the day of the exam.
Yeah,
You will be more convinced that you have what it takes
yeah.
to succeed. For me, I only got, as I said, it were 12 days. So I only started to get band 8 in writing task 1 and task 2 just 2 days before the exam. So I think that I may be a little bit not sure that I can get. I'm not believing in myself. So
Hmm.
you have to put more effort in the practice and put more effort in the correction service. Don't book the exam right away when they tell you book the exam. Just get one or two more.
Mm.
Be check it once and twice to be in the exam really relaxed. This is my first advice. My
Can I
second
can I
advice is,
can I
but yeah,
just talk about each one after you talk about them? So
yeah,
the first
okay,
one,
okay,
I would totally agree with
yeah,
that,
yeah,
because
yeah,
when I'm advising students, what I tell them is, when you say that you are stressed in the exam, what you are really saying is that you know that you're going to fail because you know that you didn't prepare properly.
yes,
Because a lot of people,
yes,
when
yes,
during their preparation, they are in denial, and they procrastinate, or they're a little bit lazy, or they try and fool themselves into thinking that they're going to be fine, and time ticks by, and then it's exam day, and they can't make any more excuses. They can't procrastinate anymore, and
yes,
they really know that they're
exactly,
going to fail, and then they blame it on stress, and it's not really stress, it's lack of preparation. Now, I'm not saying that people
yes,
don't get stressed. That I totally believe that they do, but don't confuse stress with a lack of preparation. And the other thing that I
yeah,
would say, because if I did the test, I wouldn't be stressed at all because I know that I'd be fine. Or if you did the test
mm,
today, you wouldn't be stressed at all because you've already got the scores that you need. So the test
exactly,
itself is not
yes,
causing stress. It is you. A lot of the time, it's you knowing that you didn't do enough work, you didn't prepare. So what we tell
yes,
our
yes,
students on the VIP course is, don't book the test until we tell you that you're ready. So, for example, if you need a
yes,
7 in your writing test, we will tell you during your corrections, either you're at a 7, or you're above, or you're below, and you need to do more work to get there. So that's I totally
mm,
agree that a lot of stress management is done weeks and months before exam day in getting prepared before the
Yes,
test. So,
yeah,
cool. So continue.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh, the second thing is exercise.
Hmm.
Exercise as as regular as you can, and the amount of the exercise, the duration of the exercise, the type of the exercise don't matter. You have to get your blood flowing,
Hmm.
because the effects of the exercise on the long term is a more control from your prefrontal cortex on your primal brain, which will give you more control over your basic and primal fears during the exam. Because you
Hmm.
know, in the exam you are not stressed because of uh, a logical reason. You are stressed because your primal brain is perceiving the threat of the exam as it perceives the threat of a tiger or a lion. So it is pumping your blood, constricting your pupil, and pushing you to run. And
Hmm.
you don't want to run at this moment. You just want to concentrate, and the exercise will give you that. The third thing is meditate. Try to be in the moment. Meditation is magical. But when I tried it, I am very skeptic. I am a very materialistic guy. I'm not religious. I'm not spiritual. So when I approach these subjects, I approach it with some sort of skepticism. I don't trust you, but it's magical.
Yeah.
Really, really, it's magical. It gives you the control over your thoughts,
Hmm.
so you can't go spiraling about what will happen, what can happen, and these ideas that come exactly. Just I can tell you that I got almost a mental breakdown before the night before the writing test, because I was thinking about my speaking test, and I have made mistakes. I had made mistakes, and those mistakes are I running over and over in my brain, and I can't stop them. And these things really depleted my power the next day.
Hmm.
So these three things, I think, would be my main advice. Practice very hard. Be sure that you have what it takes to succeed in the exam. Exercise, meditate, and when you are meditating, you will be introduced into many subjects and concepts such as stop rumination, stop ruminating on the idea of the feelings of the past, etc., etc. And these things will contribute to your overall well-being and your success in the
Yeah.
exam.
I totally agree with you.
It's a life-changing exam. You have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Is about 18 months ago, I was, I think, 122 kilograms because I was so busy working on the business and helping students that I basically just got up out of bed, walked to my desk, uh, sat at the computer all day and didn't exercise at all. And it caused a huge amount of stress. And because I told myself I don't have time to exercise, I have to work. Now I actually have a personal trainer who comes to my office or comes to my home and makes sure that I work out for at least an hour a day, which is very, very, very expensive. But it is life changing because it has meant that
Yes. Yeah.
I can have a much better. My business has grown. I can teach more people. I can teach more effectively. My
Yes.
family are
Yes.
happier. So I totally agree with you. And even if it's
Magical
just
effect. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And even if it's just a 15-minute walk in nature, it doesn't have to be with a personal trainer or going to the gym. It does have a huge difference. It does make a huge difference. And then I'd also say meditation as well. And if someone wants to get into meditation, there are two apps that I would recommend. One is called Headspace, Headspace, Headspace. The
Yes.
other is
Mhm.
called Calm, CALM. You can download them, and they take you through. They guide you through the meditation. I do it every morning, and again, it helps me with my family. It helps me with stress. It helps me with my business, and it helps students as well. So I totally
And
recommend that.
these have a proven medical effect.
Yep.
These
Yep,
have a
yep,
proven
yeah.
medical
It's
effect.
because when I
A
heard
goal,
about it, I was like, "Oh, this is
yeah,
for hippies and people,
Yeah.
it's like it's not
Yes.
going to help
Yes.
me, because I was like, I'm very hardworking and serious, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. But I tried it, and it had like you said, it was magical. It was unbelievable. And the fourth thing that I would say is sleep. Sleep is really key.
Yes.
Like, a lot of students are studying, and they start to sleep less because they think they have to study more, and then they get more stressed, which means they sleep even less. And it's sleep has a very powerful effect on memory, and especially on language retention and being able to so when you're going through a course, you're learning all of these things, you need to get at least 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night, and that is going to help with stress as well,
The
especially
thing,
the days before your test. Because if you don't get any sleep the
yeah.
days before your
No,
test, you can't
every day
think.
you have to take enough
Yeah,
sleep every day.
yeah.
Every day.
Hmm.
Your brain won't process the information. You
Hmm.
won't get the training you need from you, the result of the training you need from your brain. Another thing, but I think it's will be different from one to another. I found that waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
or 4:30 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. is has a substantial effect on your productivity, on your
Hmm.
concentration, on the amount of the work you have. You can have either way. You can get up before everyone else, or you can stay too late after everyone goes to sleep.
Yeah.
You can't have the productivity you need, especially when many people who are taking IELTS are people who have businesses or are working. Now I'm talking to you from my work, so our schedules are busy. So you
Hmm.
will need some time with no distractions in the morning or the and when you, and the thing is you have to establish a sleeping routine
Hmm.
that can't be broken for any
Hmm.
reason. You have to be sleeping 10:30. You have to be up 5:30, and then you will continue. You will give your body the rest it needs. You will give your brain the amount of time it needs to rewire and recover and regenerate
Yep.
in order to make better memory and better skills.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
The
essential.
the last, I totally agree. I totally agree. And the last point I would say about stress is that uh, in our office, in our company, we have like a 3-step process whenever we're dealing with stress. So number one is identify the stress. So why do I feel stressed? Number two is take action to alleviate fix the problem. And number three is use that stress to give you the focus and the energy to actually fix the problem. So same with IELTS.
Yes.
Let's say you are really worried about idea generation. So, okay, I'm worried about this because I can't think of ideas. Take action. Okay, find out how to do it and practice doing that, and use that stress, use that energy to force you to practice and focus on what you're doing. And if you do that, the stress just lifts. You don't feel stress once you are taking action to fix the thing that you're worried about. But I think
Or
most people.
using this in the right way.
Exactly, using stress in a healthy way, because if we didn't have stress, we would just lie in bed all day, and we would do nothing, and
As
we
a
wouldn't
focus.
get anything done. You
Yes.
need to use the stress in a healthy way. But I think that the problem for most IELTS students is they never get to step one, which is identifying why they feel stress, because they don't know what mistakes they are making. So let's take writing, for example, and you get 6.5, 6.5, 6.5.
Yes.
It's extremely stressful because you've no
I
idea
was
why
near mad. I was
why
really
am
mad.
I making that. So whenever you get help from a teacher, it's just like going to a doctor where they say, okay, this is the problem, this is how you fix it, this is what to do. These are the symptoms, this is the medicine you need to take, and then you're going to fix it by doing that. And if
Easy as that.
students do
Yes.
that, they're going to
Yes.
alleviate a lot of stress. Excellent.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
any last minute advice that you would give to people before we finish up?
The thing that I can say is that the course has two main advantages in my idea, in my perspective. First is the simplicity, that everything is broken down to the smallest and simplest steps. The second thing is a correction service, which had done a great deal for me. They gave me specific advice on very little subjects,
Mm.
three
Did you
little
get the
subjects.
video
But once
correction?
I got the
Did
yes,
you use
video
the
corrections, I
video
like
corrections? Yeah.
them. In every correction, I
Yeah.
like them more. I did about 20 or 18, something like that. And once I fixed these problems, I started getting 8, and I didn't believe myself at that time. And the exam says that I think most probably I got an 8 in the letter, and I get 6.5 in the essay, and they added up to a 7. And
Hmm.
if I were focused and were not, I wasn't stressed, I would get an 8. Yeah, I think that. But I have another opportunity to do that. I am going to take the academic, I think maybe in February or March after I finish the
Give yourself
preparation.
some time off. Give yourself...
So I may see you again.
take a rest, you know. Recover, let your body recover a little
The
bit.
problem with the immigration, the problem with immigration to Canada is system is age based. After you
Mm.
got over 30, you are losing
Points, yeah.
points. Yeah. So I want to make the most of this year, and then when I arrive to Canada, I would rest. I won't have any problem,
Yeah, well, if
or
you need
even
any
after the
more
IELTS
help,
academic, I would need
well,
a month at least.
we're here for you
Yes,
if you need anything.
thanks.
And if
Of
you need
course, I
anything at
will
all, just let us know.
start. Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
Yes,
Okay, thank
thank
you so
you.
much
Thank you.
for helping everybody watching, and I
It
wish you the
was
best of
great
luck in the future.
meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris here again. Hopefully you enjoyed that success story video. That student was part of our IELTS VIP course. And on that course, we show students exactly where they're going wrong and exactly what to do to get the score that they need. And we give them all the help and support that they need in order to get a 7, 8, or even 9 in their IELTS test. Now, we only work with a really small number of students. Because of the level of help and feedback and support that we give students, we can only work with a very small number of them. But we also have more success stories than any other online or offline course in the world, which has created a huge amount of demand for our course. So we're the only course in the world, I believe, that has a very long waiting list. If you want to join that waiting list, all you have to do is just click here and you'll be able to add your name, add your email address, and then when one of our students becomes successful and leaves the course, the next position can be for you. Hopefully see you in there. Bye-bye.